Hello everyone, how are you all today? This is Ashar Khan, your assistant teacher from Shiv Jyoti Educational Group Kota. So students, let us begin a new chapter of social studies, civics. We are learning chapter number 7, that is urban administration. Students, if you would remember, before this chapter in civics, we have learned about rural administration. Do you remember what the word rural means? I told you that it means village. Okay. Similarly, in this chapter we are learning about urban administration. So what is urban? Urban means city or big towns. Okay. So you see, in earlier chapter we learned about village administration. Administration means a group of people who implements laws. Means we are learning civics, right? हम क्या पढ़ रहे हैं? Civics पढ़ रहे हैं. In this, we learned about different functions of society, different institutions and organizations who make laws on us, right? So in earlier chapter, we learned about administration who makes laws in village like the panchayat, tahsildar, patwari, correct? Now, in this chapter, we'll be learning about city administration. So you know that a village is much more smaller than a city, right? City is very large. Okay, so can a small group of body run the entire city? Right? We learned that there were patwari and tahsildar in the village and sarpanch as well. Can they work in a city which is a very big than village? Which is very big than village, correct? No. For city administration, we require a different corporation, okay? A different institution is required. So, we'll be learning about that. So, please open your book on page number 57. Okay, open your book on page number 57. Have your pencil ready in front of you as well, because we'll be marking important bits. Now this chapter is a little bit different. Okay, how so? Because it is being told in story format. Okay, now there are a group of children who are playing, so let us learn about them. So let's start. One lazy Sunday afternoon, Mala and her friends Shankar, Jahangir and Rehana were playing a game of cricket in the street. So these group of students were playing cricket. Shankar had bowled a good over, and although he nearly managed to get Rehana out, she was still batting. Now frustrated, he bowled a short ball and hoped she would hit for an easy catch. Instead, Rehana hit the ball so hard and so high that the street light broke. Now what these children were doing, they were playing cricket. Okay, now one child, what did he do? He threw the ball, and the other child, Rehana, she swung the bat really hard and broke the street light. You are familiar with street light, right? Like if you would look outside of your house balcony, you will notice a row of street lights. What do? They give you light in night time. So Rehana hit the ball so hard that the street light broke. Now Rehana screamed. Obviously she will be afraid that what has she done? Oh no, look what I have done. Shankar said, yes, we forgot to make a rule that if you break the street light, you are automatically out. Now Shankar is trying to play a joke here. He is saying that if you break a street light, you are out. But Mala, Jahangir and Rehana were more worried about what had happened, and they told Shankar he had better stop thinking about the wicket. They told him that we have committed a serious mistake. We have broken a street light. So we should stop thinking about wickets and cricket now. Last week, they had broken Nirmala Mausi's window and spent their pocket money to have it replaced. It's a very normal thing, right? It might have happened with you as well. When children play in the street, what happens? They sometimes break things like someone's window, or as in this book, we are learning that they broke the street light. Now, and would they have to dish out money again from their pocket? So when they broke the window of Nirmala Mausi, they had to repair it by their own pocket money. But who would they pay this to? To whom did the lights on the street belong? Who changed them? But now they were thinking that Nirmala Mausi's window belonged to Mausi, right? But this street light, who does it belong to? If we want to get it repaired, whom we will pay the money? Rehana's house was the closest, and they ran and told her mother what had happened. So they all went to Rehana's house and they told Rehana's mother what had happened. That we were playing in the street and we broke the street light. Rehana's mother said, I don't really know these things in great detail, but I do know that it is the municipal corporation of the city that takes care of replacing lights. Please underline this line on page number 58, first line. It is the municipal corporation of the city that takes care of replacing lights. So we are learning about a new organization. Okay. What is the name of the organization? The name is Municipal Corporation. municipal corporation. Okay, now Rehana's mother told them that it is municipal corporation's job to get the street light fixed. Now, who does it contain? Which people go and belong to this corporation? Okay? Now, the best person to ask would be Yasmin Khala. Rehana's mother told them that if you really want to learn what is municipal corporation, then you should go to Yasmin Khala. Khala is another word for Mausi. Okay? Now, she just retired from the municipal corporation. Go and ask her, and Rehana come back home soon. So Rehana's mother advised them that you should go to the house of Yasmin Khala and ask them what is municipal corporation, because Yasmin Khala used to work in there. So Yasmin Khala lived in the same lane, and she and Rehana's mother were good friends. The children ran to Khala's house, and when she opened the door, they began to tell her what had happened all at once. So when they ran to the Yasmin Khala's house, she opened the door and everyone started screaming, what? That we have broken the street light. Now, when they asked about the street light, Yasmin Khala laughed and said, there is no one person that you can pay the money to. There is a big corporation called the municipal corporation that takes care of street lights, garbage collection, water supply, keeping the streets and the markets clean. Please underline this. Yes. Yasmin Khala told them that you don't need to pay the money. Underline from here, there is a big organization called the Municipal Corporation that takes care of street lights, garbage collection, water supply, keeping the streets and the market clean. So it is the duty of Municipal Corporation who takes care of the entire city, who runs the entire city. Now Municipal Corporation will only be found in big cities and towns. Okay, in village you will have Panchayat. Children, on page number 58, please write the first internal question on the top area of your book. Okay, on page number 58, write the first internal question. Whose duty is to replace the street light in a city? I am repeating again. Write it very clearly. Whose duty is to replace the street light in a city? A very simple question, that who replaces the street light in a city, and the answer is written right here. Write the answer as well just below the question, municipal corporation. Okay, you might be familiar with the Hindi term of this, it's called Nagar Nigam, but in English it is municipal corporation. So write the answer to the first internal question. Okay, so up until now we have learned that the municipal corporation is an organization which takes care of the entire city. They repair the street light, they take care of garbage, they clean the market and the streets. Okay, they also provide water and electricity to your house. Now, so let us move on with our story. I have heard about the municipal corporation. They have put up signs around the city to inform people about malaria, said Mala. Now, the child whose name is Mala said that I know about municipal corporation because they put up some signs regarding malaria around the city. Then Yasmin Khala answered, yes, you are quite right. That is correct. Underline from here as well, students. The municipal corporation is also responsible for ensuring that diseases do not break out in the city. Okay? It also runs schools, hospitals and dispensaries. Now, apart from taking care of the city, they also take care that the diseases do not break out in the city. They also run schools, hospitals and dispensary. They also run the government schools and hospital and dispensaries, correct? Now, and makes gardens and maintains them. In your surrounding there must be a lot of parks, correct? Who maintains them? Who takes care of them when they are when the plants are overgrown or when the path needs repairing? It is the people of municipal corporation. They takes care of it. Okay, so now you are slowly learning that how your entire city works. Isn't it an interesting chapter, student? Now, then she added, our city Pune is a big city and so here it is called a municipal corporation. As I just told you that big cities and towns, they have municipal corporation. Okay, in smaller towns it is called a municipal council. Now, if there is a smaller town, it won't be a municipal corporation because municipal corporation is only for big cities. Okay, जो बड़े-बड़े शहर होते हैं, there we will have municipal corporation, and if it's a small town or a small city, it will be municipal council. Okay, small town. In Hindi, municipal council is called Nagar Palika. Now, let us move on to our next topic, that is the ward councillor and the administrative staff. Now, we will learn about the different people who work in the municipal corporation. That is the ward councillor and the administrative staff. So let us see who else are involved in municipal corporation. So now the children are again asking the questions. Yasmin Khala, I am curious. Curious as in I want to know. Who decides where a park should go? Did you have to make interesting decisions like this when you worked in the municipal corporation? Asked Rehana. Now Rehana said that I want to know who decides where a park should go or where a road should be built. Okay. Did you take decisions like this when you were working in the corporation? Then she said, no Rehana, I was working in the accounts office of the corporation, so I just worked on pay slips. Then Yasmin Khala said that no, that her work was limited to the accounts office, that she used to take care of the accounts. Okay. Cities are usually quite large, so the municipal corporation has to make a lot of decision as well as to do a lot of work to keep the city clean. Now we know that the cities are very large. Take example of our Kota city. Isn't it a large city? Is it? It is, correct? Now it has a lot of work to do. That means a lot of decisions have to be taken, that where we should build a park, where we should repair the road. The decisions like where a park or a new hospital should go are usually made by the ward councillors. Underline this on page number 58, last lines. Okay, the decisions like where a park or a new hospital should go are usually made by the ward councillor. Now we are learning about a new people, a new person, that is ward councillor. Let's see who is this. But first, let us discuss what is a ward. Okay, ward councillor. First discuss what is a ward, then we will discuss about the person. Now, underline from here on page number 59 as well. The city is divided into different ward and ward councillors get elected. Okay, the city, like if we talk about Kota, Kota is also divided into different wards, and from each ward a ward councillor gets elected during elections. Okay, I hope you have underlined this. The complicated decisions that affect the entire city are taken by groups of councillors who form committees to decide and debate issues. Now what these ward councillors do? They form a committee, a group, and then they decide what is better for our city. So they can work together in the corporation. For example, see now, if bus stands needs to be improved or a crowded marketplace needs to have its garbage cleared more regularly, or there is a nala or drain that cuts through the city that needs clearing. For example, if we want to improve a bus stand, okay, we want to clean a marketplace or a drain pipe. It is the committees for water, garbage collection and street lighting that decides on the work to be done. So we have divided the municipal corporation into different areas like garbage collection department, okay, water department, cleaning department, so on. When the problems are within the ward, then the people who live in the ward can contact their councillors. So if there is a problem in my ward, I won't go to the municipal corporation office directly. Who will I complain it to? The person who is representing my ward councillor. There is a ward councillor in every ward. Okay. For example, if there are dangerous electrical wires hanging down, then the local councillors can help them get in touch with the electricity authority. In your neighborhood, what happens that the electrical wires are dangling from the pole. So I will go to my ward councillor from my ward and complain to him or her about it, so that he can get them repaired, because taking care of this is also a part of municipal corporation's job. While the councillors committee and the councillors decide on issues, the commissioner and the administrative staff implement these. Now the ward councillor will decide what to do, and who will implement this? Who will order this to be get done? It will be the collector of that city or district. Now, the commissioner and the administrative staff are appointed, councillors are elected. Now, here is a very important line that the collectors and the administrative staff, they are appointed, means the clerks who work in the office, the collectors, they are not elected. We don't vote for them. They pass an exam and hence get the job. But the ward councillors are elected. Why? Because they represent the people of the city, right? If someone from a ward is getting elected, that means everyone in that ward is proud of him or has elected them. Okay. So how are these decisions made? Now, how the municipal corporation take these decisions? Asked Rehana, who never gave up on her train of thought. She is always thinking. Well, all of the ward councillors meet and they make a budget and the money is spent according to these. Please underline this, that all the ward councillors meet and they make a budget and the money is spent according to this. First, they require that yes, we have to build a park in a particular neighborhood. Then they will have decision. They will take decision on how much money they are going to spend. They will finalize a budget for the park, and then the work will be started. Because if you are building a park, if you are building a bus station, a lot of construction work needs to be done. Okay, the worker needs to be paid, the raw materials needs to be procured. Okay, so it is the duty of the municipal corporation to meet, hold meetings, debate and discuss, and then finalize the plan which will improve the city. So these people, the municipal corporation of people, who they are working for? They are working for us. Why? Because we elected them. The ward councillors try and ensure that the particular demands of their wards are placed before the entire council. And what will the ward councillor do now? They will represent their ward from where they are coming. Okay, if I have a problem in my ward, I will tell it to my ward councillor, and that ward councillor will tell it to the committee. These decisions are then implemented by the administrative staff, said Yasmin Khala, enjoying the questions. Now, Yasmin Khala was enjoying it very much because she was being asked a lot of questions and she was able to answer. Why? Because she used to work in the municipal corporation. Now, there is a small paragraph given on page number 59 which says, how does the municipal corporation get its money? Because just 5 minutes ago we learned that what happens, that whenever there is a particular decision that needs to be made about a park, about a bus stand or cleaning something, what happens? They need money for that. Correct? They need to pay the workers who will who collect garbage from your home daily. So from where do they get this money? उनको ये पैसा कहाँ से मिलता है? Let us see. Providing and running so many services requires a lot of money. The municipal corporation collects this in different ways. Now, municipal corporation has to get money from somewhere. How so? This line is very important. A tax is a sum of money that people pay to the government for the services the government provided. If we want that the government do their work, we have to pay our taxes. That means a small part of our income goes to the government. If you would purchase anything, go to the market, and if you purchase anything, next to the price there is a small line which says included of all tax. That means that whatever you are purchasing, a small amount of that will be sent to the government. What will the government do? The money that the government is getting, they will use it for the benefit of the people. Okay? So underline this. A tax is a sum of money that people pay to the government for the services the government provides. People who have homes have to pay a property tax as well as taxes for water and other services. The larger the house, the more the tax. Okay. Now, a person who is rich will pay more tax as compared to the person who is not rich. Property tax, however, form only 25 to 30% of the money that a municipal corporation earns. Now, there are also taxes for education and other amenities. Okay, how so? If you own a hotel or a shop, then you have to pay a tax for that as well. Okay, if you have a shop or if you own a hotel, उस पे अलग से tax लगता है. Also, the next time you go to see a movie, look carefully at your ticket because you pay a tax for this as well. When you will go to see a movie next time, whenever cinemas open, I hope you all are being careful. You will see that next to the ticket there is a particular line. आप bill देखोगे उसमें लिखा होगा tax, means how much you are paying to the government for watching this movie. Thus, while rich people account for property tax, a much wider population pays more general taxes. Okay, the population pays the tax and the government functions. So from where do they get money? The municipal corporation, right? Question क्या पूछा था? How does the municipal corporation get its money? From the people, in the form of taxes. Okay. Moving on page number 60, let us begin. No adults asked her about her job, and the children's question provided her an opportunity to relive some of her experiences. Who was she? Who is this person who is thinking that? Yasmin Khala. She's enjoying answering all the question of these children. Why? Because no one ever asked her about her job. Everyone thinks that it's a very boring job. When you get elected, you are doing someone work. Everyone will think that it's very boring. But she's enjoying this because the children are keenly interested, okay, in the topic. Now, another. But the city is so large, it must take a lot of people to look after it. Does the municipal corporation have a lot of workers? Asked Shankar curiously. Right? Now Shankar is asking the question that a city is so large, it is so big, that means a lot of people are required, a lot of worker needs to work in the order to get the city clean. If we take the example of garbage collection, every morning what happens? A garbage truck comes in your street and you dump your garbage in it. Now imagine that a Kota city is so large, how many garbage trucks must it employ? Correct? So Shankar is saying the same thing, that a city is so large that the municipal corporation needs a lot of workers. Yes, the work in the city is divided into different departments. So what we have done is we have divided different municipal corporation into different departments. So there is the water department which takes care of all the problems related to water. The garbage collection department which takes care of garbage collection duty. A department to look after garden, there is a garden department, and what their job is to look after gardens and parks in the city. And another to look after a road department. See, I worked on accounts in the sanitation department. Now Yasmin Khala is also saying that where she used to work, in the sanitation department on accounts. Okay, said Yasmin Khala, and then went on to offer the children some kebabs to eat. Now mark the second internal question on page number 60, students. Okay, on page number 60 mark the second internal question, that is, name the two departments of the municipal corporation. We have to name any two departments of the municipal corporation. I am repeating again, name two departments of the municipal corporation. Okay, answer you can underline here, the water department, the garbage collection department. These two. Okay. Moving on. Jahangir ate his kebabs at the top speed, and as he wolfed them down, as he ate those kebabs, he asked loudly from the kitchen, Yasmin Khala, where does the garbage that the municipal corporation collects go to? Now this question must be in your mind as well, students, that the garbage trucks, they collect your garbage. But wo garbage jata kahan hai? Where do they throw it? Where do they dump it? Okay, let us see now. It will answer. The others were still eating when Yasmin Khala began to answer. This question has an interesting answer. As you know, you can usually find garbage lying all over the street. Usually if the truck doesn't come, what will happen? People will start throwing garbage, anywhere. And there will be garbage in the street, leading to diseases and horrible conditions to live in. Earlier, even our neighborhood used to have garbage lying all over, and if this remains uncollected, it attracts dogs, rats and flies. Also, people get ill from the smell. She is saying that even in our neighborhood, what used to happen? The garbage used to lie just on the street. Okay, and that garbage heap, it attracts dogs, rats and flies, and people get ill from the disgusting smell. At one point, things became so bad that children even stopped playing cricket in the street because their parents were afraid that they would get sick from staying in the streets too long. The children even stopped playing cricket in the street because the parents used to worry that if they go out, because of the smell of the garbage, they will get ill. Now, Yasmin Khala continued, the women were very unhappy about the situation. We are moving on to the next paragraph now, that is a community protest. Okay, this is our next paragraph, our next topic, a community protest. Community means group of people, a neighborhood. For example, all your society forms a community. Okay, protest means, what is this word mean? Protest means to go against something, to show that you are against something. Okay, usko bolte hain protest karna. Okay, let us see what was the community protest which happened in the neighborhood because of the garbage. Okay, now Yasmin Khala continued, she is telling the story that the women were very unhappy about the situation and even came to me for advice. The women of the neighborhood were very unhappy that the garbage is just lying on the street. So they came to Yasmin Khala for advice. I said I could try and speak with some officer in the department, but I was not sure how long it would take. Now this is government work, okay, and the government work is usually very slow to implement. Then it was Gangabai who said that it is the ward councillor who we should go to and protest, since we are the ones who elected him. Now see, this woman named Gangabai, what did she say? That to whom do we have to complain? The ward councillor. And why do we have to go to that one person only? Because we elected him, right? He is the ward councillor. Why? Because everyone voted for him to win. Now he is responsible for solving our ward's problems. So, and what was the problem? That the garbage was not being collected. So what did Gangabai do? She gathered a small group of women and went to his house. Okay? They began shouting slogans in front of his house, and he came out and asked them what was wrong. Now they ganged up around his house and they started chanting slogans. Okay? So the ward councillor came out and asked them what happened. Gangabai described the situation in the locality to him. Now she told him that, see what is happening in our neighborhood, garbage is not being collected on time. He promised to go with them the next day to meet the commissioner. He said, ki, okay fine, I understand your problem, and tomorrow I will go and meet the commissioner and discuss this problem. He asked Gangabai to get a petition signed by all of the adults in the locality saying that the garbage was not being collected. Students, if you would remember, earlier in this book, we learnt about there is a form of protest called signature campaign. Okay, now he is saying the same thing, that get a petition where it is written that the garbage is not being collected and get it signed by everyone in the neighborhood, so that I can present that document to the people, to the commissioner. Okay. Now, he suggested that taking the local sanitation engineer with them the next day might be a good idea, that I will also take the local sanitation engineer, the person who is in charge of the sanitation in this area. The sanitation engineer could also speak with the commissioner and tell him how bad the situation was. That evening, children ran from house to house making sure that as many families as possible signed the petition. And that evening what happened? The children used to run around in the street and taking the petition to everyone, so that everyone can sign that petition. And what was written in that petition? That from our neighborhood garbage is not being collected, and here are the people who are signing on it, who are giving their voice ki yes, it is true, whatever written in this document is true. Now what happened? See now, the next morning a large group of women and the ward councillor and the sanitation engineer went to the municipal corporation office. Now a lot of people, the neighborhood people, the women, the ward councillor, the sanitation engineer, they went to the municipal corporation office. The commissioner met with this large group and began giving excuses, saying that the corporation did not have enough trucks. Now the person, the commissioner, is giving excuses, right? And what is he saying? That we don't have enough trucks. Okay, we don't have enough garbage trucks. But Gangabai, who was a very smart woman, she smartly replied, but you seem to have enough trucks to collect garbage from the rich families. Now what is she saying? That you have enough trucks for the rich families. Why not for the people of middle class? That must have left him lost for words, quipped Jahangir. Now Jahangir, जिसको यास्मीन खला क्या कर रही हैं, स्टोरी सुना रही हैं. He said that he must have been lost for words now. He wouldn't know what to say. Yes, he said that he would take care of it immediately, and Gangabai threatened that if it was not done in 2 days, a larger group of women would protest in front of the corporation. The Gangabai, what did she do? She threatened him that if the garbage in our street is not cleared in 2 days, then I will come with a larger group of women and we will protest in front of the municipal corporation, said Yasmin Khala. So did the streets get cleaned? Asked Rehana, who never let things remain unfinished. So finally Rehana asked, did the streets get cleaned? Well, not within 2 days, and then after another larger and more noisy protest, the sanitation service in this locality became more regular. But no, the commissioner still didn't listen to them, right? Then what did Gangabai do? She took a large group of women, okay, and protested in front of the municipal corporation. Can you tell me what happens when you protest in larger groups? It attracts the attention of the media. Okay, media trucks come, they take notice of what is being done, they show it on television. Okay, this throws the light that the government is not doing their work. That is why people need to protest. This is the power of media, the fourth pillar of democracy. Okay. Then she is saying that After 2 days, the garbage was not cleared and they had to do a more noisy protest, and after that the sanitation service in the locality became more regular. Wow, this sounds just like a Bollywood film with a happy ending. Okay, one child is saying that this sounds like a Bollywood movie. There was a problem which needs to be solved, so the people went to the commissioner, he refused them, then they again came up with a bigger crowd, and finally he had to listen to them, so there was a happy ending. Said Mala, who already began imagining herself in the lead role of Gangabai. Now this was said by Mala that this sounds like a Bollywood movie with a happy ending. Now the children enjoyed hearing Gangabai's story immensely. They had sensed that Gangabai was much loved and respected, and now they understood why. They got up and thanked Khala for answering their question, and then before they left, Rehana said, "Oh, I have one last question, Khala. The 2 dustbins that we have at home now, are they also Gangabai's idea?" Now, as the children were about to leave, because their queries are now finished, why did they go to Yasmin Khala? They went to Yasmin Khala so that they can find out who they need to pay for the repairing of the street light, which they had broken. But Yasmin Khala told them that it is not your work to do, that it is the job of the municipal corporation. They will repair the street lights, okay, because they are in charge of taking care of the entire city. Then Rehana asked one final question, that we have 2 dustbins. Was it also Gangabai's idea? Khala began laughing. No, not really. The municipal corporation was the one who suggested that we do this to help keep our streets clean. When we sort our own garbage, it reduces their work. Okay, we have 2 dustbins, that is one for dry garbage and one for wet garbage. Can you tell me that even the garbage truck, sometimes what happens, they have 2 dividers. They have a dividation between the truck. That one side you throw the dry garbage like glass, cloth, metal objects, and in another side you throw the wet garbage, that is peels of fruits and vegetables. Okay. Why do we do so? Because it makes the municipal corporation's job easier, because the wet garbage can be used as compost and the dry garbage can be sorted, that the metal objects can be recycled, glass objects can be remade, right? The children thanked Khala and walked back down the street together. They thanked her. Why? Because she answered their questions. It had become quite late, for they needed to get back home. For some reason, the street seemed darker than usual, because they spent a lot of time in Khala's house. The sun had went down and the street looked a very darker shade. They looked up and then looked at each other, smiling, and ran right back to Khala's house. Now they looked back and they went back to Khala's house because it had gotten dark and they were afraid of walking home alone. So student, this was the story. In this story, students, we learnt a very simple thing, that the municipal corporation, how does it function? That the city is divided into wards, okay? Every ward has a ward councillor and an administrative staff, okay? The ward councillors solve the problem of their ward, as well as they form committees to solve the problem of the entire city. The municipal corporation collects taxes from the people and they use that money for the welfare of the people. We also learnt about community protest, that if something is wrong in your society, you can have a protest. Okay, this is your duty as a citizen to raise your voice against the government, because it is our power to criticize the government whenever we see that something wrong is being done. So students, I hope you marked the internal questions well. It was very fun to teach you. Thank you so much.